Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the scrubber droid from Star Wars. This is a fifth degree maintenance droid produced by Industrial Automation. Um, this is a series of droid designed for cleaning up hazardous materials from spaceports and hangar areas. The scrubber, which resembled a squat box, moved about to search for fuel spills and other areas where potentially dangerous chemicals pooled. It's It could communicate with the Theed Royal Palace computer system. The box shaped droid was equipped with fuel scrubbers and two sensors called sniffers to detect any dangerous fuel leaks. The scrubber was efficient at its work, collecting as much of the hazardous material as possible without any sort of fear of its dangerous situation. In those situations where a fire could break out before the scrubber could clean it up, the spill, the droid was equipped with a fire extinguisher to put out in a variety of different types of fires. All right, going at the history, the scrubber droid model was used by the Royal Naboo Security Force in 32 BBY. Yet two other scrubber droids were found in Watto's shop. A droid of another model was acquired by Jawas on Tanui and stored in their digger crawler in 0 BBY. So I'm going to guess we have a picture of that here. And yes, we do have two of the scrubber droids here on Watto's bench here. And I never really paid much attention because we get our little pop-up droid right there. Okay, so this was something created for the Phantom Menace. It was also brought to us by Wizards of the Coast when they had the gaming rights for Star Wars, which is where we're going to get our stats more or less from. And when they had created the book that we're using, that's got all these different stats. It was reverse engineered because one of the fun things of Wizards of the Coast, they were trying to get everyone to switch from the D6 into the D20, and they gave a guide as to how to take the die codes and move them over. And a lot of people just took the Wizards of the Coast material and reverse engineered it to put it into the D6. So here we are. So looking at our scrubber droid, again, it's from Industrial Automation. Stat wise, we're looking at a dexterity of 2D plus 2. Knowledge is only 1D. It's a very simplistic droid. Mechanical, it's not a mechanical droid, so it just knows for, picking up or clean up any spills and then putting out fires, so it doesn't need much there. So it's only a 1D. Perception is a 1D. It's got that search sniffer on it. Strength is a 2D plus 2, so just a little bit above the galactic standard there. Technical is only a 1, but it has demolitions of 2, so it understands the properties of fire and so on. Okay, so it's equipped with an internal comm link, so it can try to communicate with whatever other systems, or if you need to tell it to go to a certain area, it can go. Environmental compensator, which gives it a plus 2D to strength to resist the effects of extreme heat, water, or dust. So that's kind of nice feature to it. Of course, it's got our fire extinguisher and a fuel scrubbers. Has internal storage of about 6 kilograms to pick up whatever fuel or whatever else we have on the floor. It does have the sniffers, which adds a +1 to the search rolls involving a scent. Has a telescopic grasper arm, which can go about 2 meters out. So exactly where that is sitting on here, I don't know exactly. I'm going to guess if you're looking at this instead of listening, we have what looks like a vacuum cleaner port. I'm going to guess that's where our fire extinguisher is. I don't know where the grasper arm is. It could be located somewhere underneath. I just don't know. Let's see. It also has a tool mount. So somewhere up on top here, it's going to have a tool mount. Exactly where that sits, I don't know exactly because this is just some of the things that were talked about. Has a move of 10, so the same movement that our standard galactic civilians or creatures have, our humanoid creatures. All right, it is a small size, so that really comes in on the uh, Wizards of the Coast Star Wars, your scale size in that regard. Um, this would be then considered just personal scale. So if you're shooting at it with a blaster because you just decided that it needs to be target practice for some silly reason, um, it would just be a personnel scale. It costs roughly about 1,000 credits. Now we don't have a used credit listing here, but I would say if I'm going to go off on on just a idea of it, used, I would say probably about 500 credits. So if you're looking at getting this into somebody's hands for some reason as a used, about 500 credits. Although I will admit, most of the time we're probably not going to be buying a droid like this. But you know what? Because I know in my own personal role playing games and all that stuff, things have been changing. We're adding things in there that us old guys never really thought much about. So here we are. Okay, and this comes from the Arms and Equipment Guide, which is from Wizards of the Coast, and this is on page 63. So this is really the ideal thing that in our current world that we are working on today. We're trying to come up with some sort of robots or droids, whatever you want to call them, to really go into hazardous areas for humans to be able to perform whatever work it is that, maybe it's either too hazardous or we can only be down there for, maybe 15, 20 minutes or something, and then we got to get out of there. So it really limits the amount of work that we can do in comparison to having a droid there where it can be in there for 20, 30, couple hours, whatever it is, to try and help clean things up. It can come out, empty its loadout, and then go back in. You get the idea. It itself can go in, do the work that we have a hard time doing, and then we can get the work done. So, uh, a wonderful example of this being right in front of us, and it's fun to bring this stuff out. I mean, this was done in the Phantom Menace, and here we have our stats for it. So, just something that maybe people trip on or something, or we just see running around in a hangar bay while we're doing our tasks, and there it is. So, with that, hope you have a wonderful day. It's great bringing this stuff to you every day. We'll see you in the next video.